Welcome to week 3, day 1 of our Build Balance Momentum program. Today's asana of the day will be yogic squat. So yogic squat is a really nice pose for strengthening the ankles, strengthening the shins and the calves, and it's a good just overall leg strengthener, but it also can help relieve a little bit of tension that some people carry in their lower backs. So if you find that you're hunched over and sitting all day and you just experience a lot of aches and pains in your lower back, this pose can actually help strengthen and lengthen the lumbar spine. So I hope you're excited for today's practice, and we will begin in child's pose. Please feel free to grab a block or two, and then also a yoga towel or blanket if needed. And we'll start in child's pose. All right, so we'll come about 3/4 of the way down our mat, big toes together, knees nice and wide. We'll just walk our hands down, resting our head on the mat, and just taking a few moments to collect ourselves, to center our minds, and to just really tune in with our breath. Feel free to just let go of any tension that might be in your body. And on your next exhale, allow that tension to just release as if you're sinking into your mat. Are you noticing any areas that you're maybe clenching muscles, such as your hands, your shoulders? Feel free to gently roll them out if you notice anything. And then tune back into your breath. When you're ready, we're going to gently raise our heads off the mat and come into a tabletop posture. And then we're gonna lift up those knees and we're just gonna send our hips back into downward facing dog. We're gonna start out with a couple sun salutation A's today. So feel free to pedal out those knees if you need to. Really get comfortable in your downward dog before we start our practice. Remember to press through the index mound of your fingers to keep that weight out of your wrists. And always feel free to bend your knees to find that length in the spine in this posture. When you're ready, ground through your left foot and inhale your right foot up in between your hands. Your left foot up. Inhale, halfway lift to a flat back. Exhale into a forward fold, slight micro bend in the knees here. Inhale as we rise up into an upward salute. Exhale, palms in prayer. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, let swan dive forward, slight micro bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right leg back, and then your left leg. We'll take one chaturanga here. You can either do it on your knees or the normal way. So bring those elbows out wide and wrap them towards your torso. Come up onto your toes. Inhale here, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, pushing the mat away from you. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Do one more here. Inhale, bring that left foot up in between the arms. Bring your right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Slight micro bend in the knees here. Inhale, rise up to standing, upward salute. Exhale, palms in prayer. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with your left foot and then your right foot. Tuck those elbows in towards your torso. Come onto your toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pushing the mat away. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, feel free to pedal out those knees if you need to. Ground yourself through the left foot as you inhale your right foot back, keeping those hips square. Find a deep breath here. Exhale, open up those hips now, bending that foot towards your booty. And let's do a couple nice rolls of the hip here. Do it in one direction first. Remember to breathe, and then let's switch directions. Yogic squat is a really big hip opener, so we're going to try to warm up those hips. Good. Inhale, let's bring that knee in towards your chest and see if we can plant that foot in between our hands. Let's drop that back foot back and try to line up our right heel with our back arch of our foot. And we are going to somersault up into warrior two. So let's just do a check here. Back thigh almost internally rotating. We want to keep everything engaged. Arms parallel to the floor, gazing over our right fingertips and really sinking into that front leg. Inhale, flip that palm, drop your left hand to your leg into reverse warrior. Good. Flip back, come up into warrior two. This time drop your right hand to your right knee, or just above your right knee, and inhale, the left arm up and over into side angle posture. Good. We are going to stay here and take our right hand and drop it to the mat. And let's do a little hop to bring our left leg in just a bit closer. And when we're ready, we're going to kind of hop our foot up like we're coming into half moon pose, which is a pose we haven't gotten to yet. And we're not going to fully do it, we're just going to do some light hops, but it'll introduce you to the posture. So we are going to kind of push through our front right foot here, and we're just going to hop like this. We do about 5 of these. So inhale, exhale, hop, lifting that back foot. Inhale, exhale, hop. 3 more. Inhale, exhale, hop. Inhale, exhale, hop. Inhale, exhale, hop. I think that was the amount of time. I don't remember how many I counted. Good enough. All right. And I want you to swing your arms down now and see if we can come into almost like a low lunge. And you may want to grab your block here if this is too intense. You can kind of put it under your bum, like so. This makes it a lot easier. But if you're not feeling the block and you're feeling real flexible, you can also drop your bum to the mat, which is totally all right as well. We are going to use our left arm to kind of push open that left knee here, and we're going to lengthen our spine so we're sending our right shoulder back. So you feel a nice stretch through the spine and through the groin. And if you want some real good activation, you can push with your arm as you're pushing back on your arm with your leg. You can feel those groin muscles fire up. So let's hold here a second. See if you can extend your arms now, and let's just bind them behind our back. So see if you can grasp your hands behind your back. If not, that's okay. You can still lengthen the stretch by just having your arms out nice and wide here. But if you can, see if you can just touch your fingers and clasp them behind your back. Again, pulling open that right shoulder, almost bringing your gaze behind you. I should say to your right side. And when you're ready, we will release. If you can, pop yourself up onto that foot, and we're gonna come into what I like to call a high yogic squat. This is also like a wide lunge. So we're gonna clasp our hands just above our knees here, and use your hands to push open your knees. We wanna get those nice hip opening stretch. Again, if you wanna get some activation here, you can push your knees back against your hands, so they're like pushing each other isometrically, kind of. And you'll really feel those groin muscles and adductors firing. Good. See if you can sink your booty just a bit lower here. When you're ready, we're just going to do a couple sways here. And when you sway to the right, I want you to put all your weight in that leg and see if you can stand up. We're going to take our left foot and bring it up, grab that left foot with your right hand, and we're just going to do a nice quad stretch here. Today would have been a lower body workout, so let's get some nice leg stretches in here. Feel like you're lengthening. We want to feel like we're lengthening that knee down towards the ground, pulling that foot up behind us. Deep breaths here. When you're ready, you can release that foot, and we're going to come into tree pose. So again, you can put it in the inside of your calf and the inside of your thigh. Avoid right here. Avoid putting it into your knee joint. So we're going to inhale our arms wide up, and we're going to exhale our palms in prayer in front of our hearts. Feel as if you have roots coming through that toe, or through your toes, through your heel. Try to balance here. Good. If you're ready, keep balancing on that right foot. Let's put our left ankle just above our right knee, flexing that foot there, and see if you can sink down like we're coming into a modified chair pose. Ooh, you will feel it really good in your left hip here. Try not to get your right knee over your right toes. We want to think about pushing back, so keeping that knee behind the toes, and act like you're trying to sit in a chair. Again, keeping this left foot flexed, really keeping that activated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and release back up. And let's step our leg out wide. And we're gonna come into warrior 2 on the other side. So kind of stretch out your legs as you need to. Sink into that left foot here. Bring your arms up, parallel to the floor, lengthening that tailbone down. Gaze just over your left fingertips. Deep breaths here. Inhale, flip that left palm as you exhale it over the body. Bring your right hand outside of your right knee. Exhale, release. Inhale, drop that left arm now onto your thigh. Inhale your right arm up and over, opening up those shoulders and that chest into side angle pose. We're going to drop our left arm to the mat if you can. Light hop your right leg up, straighten out that knee. And we're going to do those half moon hops on the other side now. So inhale, press up into your left leg as you hop your right leg up and back down. Inhale, exhale, hop. You can put a nice micro bend, nice bend in that front knee too to help with this. Inhale, exhale, hop. Let's do 2 more here. Inhale, exhale, hop. Helps with balance. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, hop. Good. And now we're gonna come up into our low lunge onto the other side. So gently rest yourself down. Again, put that block under your booty if you need to at this time. Keep this foot flexed if you can. Use your right arm to kind of push open your right knee. Palms in prayer, opening up that left shoulder behind you, bringing that gaze to your left side. Deep breaths here. Pushing that leg into your arm and your arm into your leg. Get some nice activation going. When you're ready, you can straighten out your hands if you would like. And again, try to bind them behind your back, so you may have to kind of like scrunch into your leg just a bit more. See if you can get a nice bind behind your back. If you can't, it's always just fine to kind of open up your arms and just kind of get a deeper stretch with this. Again, gaze to your left, opening up those shoulders, trying not to hunch, spine nice and long here. And let's release. And we're gonna come up onto our foot if we can, and open up, coming into the nice high yogic squat again. Sinking our booty back, spine long. This time we are going to drop our left hand to the mat as we raise our right arm up to the ceiling, gaze following. And let's switch. Exhale as you switch. Inhale here. Exhale, left hand to the floor. Right hand up. Inhale. Right hand to the mat. Left hand up. This time, do this a few more times at your own pace, like with your own breath. One more here. And release your hands to the mat. This time we're going to do our little shuffle and we're going to pop up onto our left foot. And get my legs nice and settled here. Bring your right foot up, grab that right foot with your left hand, and think about lengthening that knee down so you'll feel it right up through your quads here, through your groin. Give it a nice stretch. Breathe. Trying to balance. You can always use a chair for these postures or these exercises if you find that this is too much of a balancing act for you. Deep breaths here. Okay, release that right foot. And we're going to come up into tree pose. So again, put it wherever is most comfortable for you that isn't your inner knee. Inhale, our arms up. Exhale, palms in prayer. And bring up heart center. Grounding through that foot. Try to notice all of the little muscles activating in your legs and your feet, trying to balance yourself. Our body does so much of this throughout the day and we don't even realize it. So it's kind of cool to tune into it in yoga. Release your right foot and tuck that ankle just over your left knee, flexing those toes towards the shin. And we're gonna sit our sit bones back as if we're about to sit in a chair here, coming into a modified chair pose. Again, keeping that left knee behind the toes and not like sinking too far forward. You want them nice and back. Spine long. Breathe here. Ooh, feel that all through the right hip. This is the good one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand back up. Release that foot. We're going to come into a wide-legged stance in a standing wide leg forward fold. So we'll put our hands on our hips. We're going to hinge at the waist here. You can put a nice micro bend to protect those knees if you need to. We're going to about stop so when we're like perpendicular to the mat. Nice 90-degree angle. And release your hands to the mat. And now let's just use your hands and grab opposite elbows, and we're just gonna come into a wide-legged ragdoll, basically. So feel free to sway back and forth. Feel those hamstrings getting a nice stretch. Feels so good. Okay, release your hands to the mat. Inhale, come into a flat back. And exhale, bend those knees, and we're going to come into our yogic squat. Feel free to walk your feet in just a little bit if you need to. We're going to rest so our heels are on the mat, but our booty is up. And if this is too uncomfortable, you can take your block and set it almost like you're sitting on it, but you really want to kind of keep your weight forward a bit if you do this. So you can do it in whichever stance is a little more comfortable for you. Otherwise, if you're able to comfortably sit without a block, that would be great. And if you find that you aren't able to get that nice, to get your heels to the mat, you feel like your heels are up, this is where taking your towel and like wrapping them, putting them underneath your heels will be great, because we want to think about lengthening downward, and you really want your heels touching something to be able to lengthen the body downward. So if you need to put a towel or a blanket under your heels at this time, that is totally all right and encouraged. But if not, you can join me in here. Again, your butt's lifted off the mat. Think about lengthening the spine here, using your elbows to push your knees open and wide, finding activation by pushing your knees into your elbows. And again, lengthening, you'll feel it through your lower back and your hips here. Just breathe through this posture. If you can, you can take your arms nice and wide. And almost see if you can like inch them out to get a nice deep stretch here. Oof, it burns. And release. Back up into yogic squat. A couple more deep breaths here. Again, spine lengthened. Release our hands to the mat and come into downward facing dog. If your hips are tight, they might be a little tender right now. Just pedal out those legs. If you can, bend those knees, kind of clinch the knees together, and see if you can drop your hips to one side and then the other. So we're just getting a nice lateral stretch through the side body here. So just rock them back and forth. keeping the knees touching, just moving the heels and the hips basically, allowing them to guide the body. Good, and let's come back up into downward facing dog. We're gonna roll and drop our knees to the mat to come into tabletop posture, and we're gonna sit back into child's pose. We're gonna keep our knees almost together for child's pose, allowing our hips a little time to relax. And we're not gonna quite rest our forehead on the floor, but we're gonna walk our hands over to the left side of our mats. Again, getting a nice stretch through the side body. Inhale here, and exhale. Allow yourself to sink towards the mat. Inhale, come up. Walk your hands to the other side. Inhale here. Exhale, sink into the stretch. Inhale up, come up into seated. Untuck your legs from under you, and we're gonna roll into knee to chest pose. So grab your knees and just kind of slowly roll your spine to the mat. Hugging those knees close to the chest. Maybe doing a couple pelvic rolls here. Keeping the knees together. Let's roll to the other side now. This is also massaging the lumbar spine. That's really good. And let's come back to center. Deep inhale here. And release. And let's come into corpse pose for Shavasana. So get yourself comfortable on the mat. Arms resting at your sides. Whole body relaxed. Neck not scrunched, but not linked too long either. Just comfortably placed. And let's return to our breath here. I want you to give me a nice inhale here. Hold at the top. And an audible exhale out. Emptying your lungs. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep inhale here. Hold. And audible exhale out. One more. Inhale. Hold. And audible exhale out. Completely emptying your lungs of oxygen. Now return to your normal breathing. And just consciously try to notice any areas that may still be tense in the body and just relax them on each exhale. And then tuning into your breath. Allowing fingers to curl in, toes toes to relax. And everything just feel like there's no muscle control. Just allow it to release underneath.